Moving away from Maharashtra and straight to the national capital region, where 164 projects, many from reputed builders in Greater Noida, do not own the land that they stand on. These builders, the Greater Noida Authority alleges, have defaulted on payments for the land they have already built on. In many cases, homes have been sold and handed over as well. Now, the authority is taking a stern view of the defaults and is threatening to cancel allotments if builders don't pay up. My colleague Deepa Rana gets us more details on this fresh crisis brewing in the Greater Noida market. Take a look.
Over 95 projects in Noida and Greater Noida region have come under a cloud. The reason that over 164 builders have defaulted on the dues against the land being allotted to them by the Greater Noida and Noida Authority. Now, the Greater Noida Authority has released a list of over 164 builders. Some of the top builders include Unitech, Supertech, Amrapali as well as ATS. Over 3,520 crores of the dues have been pending against various builders in the Noida and Greater Noida region. The Greater Noida Authority has given them time to pay at least 25% of the payment of the dues by end of September, failing which the builders are going to face action. That is, they'll have to pay the interest as well as pay the interest or face cancellation of their property. Now, we spoke to the Greater Noida Authority as well, and they told us that 25% of payment has to be done. The authority is also ready to reschedule the payment plan for various builders. However, the builders are claiming that it is because of the farmers' protest that they were unable to pay their dues in time, and also some of the builders are also claiming that the Noida Authority as well as Greater Noida Authority are now asking for 62% of increased compensation which the developers are supposed to give to farmers, and they feel that this is too much of an amount that the authorities are now levying on the developers. We also spoke to the home buyers who are now worried that if these defaulters are unable to meet the deadline, in that case it is going to trickle down to the home buyers and they are going to be the end sufferers.
Now, Deepa also caught up with Deepak Agrawal, CEO of Greater Noida Industrial Development Authority. Listening to what he had to say.
There is a provision in the authority that if there is a developer or any allottee defaults his installment for 3 times, then he's considered as a defaulter. But considering the present scenario, there is a reschedulement policy in vogue, in which if the allottee deposits 25% of the outstanding amount, so default can be rescheduled in his future installments. So that the deadline is expiring this September end, and we have held a meeting with all the defaulters recently, and around 57 applications we have already received since then, whereby they have said that they will get their default amount rescheduled, and so that the project can carry on. The intention of the authority is not to harass or harm anyone. The intention of the authority is to keep in mind the interest of all the stakeholders, that is the authority, mainly the buyers and the developers.
In fact, we're now being joined by Geetambar Anand, President, Crore National, on the phone line for a better perspective. Mr. Anand, thank you so much for taking time out. Tell us, the GNIDA has released the list of defaulters. 95% of the projects are under the cloud. What action are you taking as Crore President?
No, you see, as you just heard the CEO of Greater Noida say, this is an opportunity to actually come out of this crisis. Because please don't forget that Greater Noida has seen its shares of, land issues and, slowdown in the market, sales not happening. So therefore, there has been a problem as far as cash flows go for developers. This is not an NPA issue. Please understand that. And the authority is working hand in hand with the developers to actually, it's like restructuring a debt. So now this opportunity is it's a blessing, because everybody can now really restructure the debt and or the payment which is due to the authority, and pay whatever they're asking for, and then get it into a regular stream. The larger issue is, you see, which we are facing, is that the customers eventually have to be burdened with the additional compensation which is to be given to the farmers. And we empathize with the government, because you see, over here the land issues are a big problem. But in some cases where already possessions have been given, now levying that extra charge to be given as compensation to the farmers is a challenge, because the customers will not be paying because they're already staying in those houses. So now that is what we are asking the authority
All right.
to come out with a solution for, because now this is important. They need the money to pay the farmers. Now, in cases where possessions have already been given 10 years ago, you cannot levy that extra charge to the customer.
All right.
It's a very sticky situation. But having said that, let me say that it is not a negative news that you hear.
Okay.
It is something positive which has been done by the authority to overcome this situation and to move forward, in a very proactive manner with the industry.
All right, Mr. Gitambar Anand, President of CREDAI National, thank you so much for joining us here on the Property News and giving us that perspective on what this crisis.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.